People from there, people from far, Caribbean people, wherever you are, people up north, people down south, people in the east. Welcome to my channel, YouTube family. Season's greeting to everyone. I hope everyone is having an awesome, wonderful holiday season. And I'm pretty stoked to share this recipe with you. This is my holiday sorrel fruitcake. Please watch to the end. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing.
What we're gonna do? I don't know, Daddy. Can I eat a rice flour, Daddy? Where's the rice flour?
Hold this for me. So what we're gonna do right here is pop this open. And this part is what we use. This is the part that we use. This is a seed.
A
I'm
seed.
gonna save that for later.
Well, a seed. Well, a seed is the side, Daddy. Is seed in the side?
Okay, I'm not gonna cut the flower. Cut this part already.
So family, I consider myself fortunate to have such a wonderful plant here that we can use for teas, for drinks, and for our cakes. Usually this plant is harvested only around Christmas time, so that's why you see people in the Caribbean using this plant to make the drinks and the fruit cakes. And I am very fortunate to have this right in my backyard. So I'm gonna use what I have. A little bit about sorrel. It's loaded with vitamin C and it will boost your immune system. It's high in antioxidants and it lowers blood sugar. So you might see that we're cooking with it, we're using it in our teas and our fruit cakes, but it's actually good for lowering the blood sugar. If you're diabetic, make this tea and use it. It's awesome. So this is the amount that we have here. This is more than enough that we need, but I'm gonna use it all up and I'll show you how we do that. There's some eggs that we got collected from our hens in the backyard. We're gonna use some of those eggs to make our cakes just as well. Here it is, guys. Doesn't get fresher than this. So what we're gonna start with is washing and taking off the petal parts of this flower. The middle section of it is just a seed pod. And we're just gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna save the seeds to replant later on. And we'll give it one more wash. Make sure we get all the leaves. And we're gonna set it aside to drain and get some of that water out of there. So now I'm getting ready with 2 cups of water here. Some cinnamon sticks, star anise, 1 black cardamom, and I'm gonna grate about a teaspoon of fresh nutmeg. And we're gonna bring this up to a boil and add our sorrel. So now I'm cooking this a little bit different than usual. Most people don't cook like I do, but I like things with flavor. So I'm adding about 6 pimento berry from the allspice berry tree. And in goes our sorrel. And I'm going in with some of Demerara Gold, 2 cups of that. And we're gonna allow this to render down and cook into that liquid and become a nice jam or paste so that we can use this in our cake. It's gonna be so rich and flavorful. So keep watching, folks. You'll see the next step. So now I'm gonna add some vanilla extract. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And guys, with all this flavor going on here and spices, can just imagine the aroma that's coming out of the kitchen. It's smelling like a real holiday season right now. So after a few minutes, some of the liquids is evaporated, and you can see the richness coming out of the sorrel. And we're gonna cook this on very low heat. So there's no rush for this. This is being cooked with love here. So after a few more minutes, this is what we're looking like. The sorrel petals are nice and tender and dissolving and becoming this nice thick paste. So we're gonna get it cooked down some more. Give it a good stir. And we're gonna let it go for a few more minutes. Check this out, guys. Look at the richness here. Look at the color, this vibrant color here. This is natural sorrel. So one part I forgot to show you guys. I removed some of the large spices and I used my stick blender to puree everything. And we're gonna render this down just a little bit more for a few more minutes. Gonna remove some of the allspice berry as well. And here it is. It's getting nice and thick. And at this time, I just tasted it. It tasted exactly like gooseberry jam. The same level of tartness. It's awesome. I'm gonna save some for my crackers or bread later on. And now we let it cool down, and this is what we have. So I'm gonna spoon it into a jar. So I managed to fill about an 18-ounce jar with this awesome stuff that I'm gonna use for the cake. And we'll label it and set it to the side. So now we're gonna get started with our butter at room temperature. We're going in with 1 cup of butter, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of clove. One teaspoon of ground ginger and 1 teaspoon of orange peel or zest. And we're gonna use some pimento berry as well into this cake mix. 1 teaspoon of allspice. So now we're gonna combine 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of butter and cream it. And this is gonna take some patience. So you basically want to get it like this into a nice cream. And we're gonna use 5 of our eggs for this recipe. And we have some pre-sifted enriched bleached flour for this recipe, or you could use all-purpose flour as well. We're going in with 2 cups of flour. So we're doing all our measurements and setting it to the side. And this is our fruits here. It's been soaking in some rum and wine. This is prunes and raisins that we soaked for almost 2 weeks. And now we're gonna puree that as well. Put it in your food processor and give it a good mix in there. Now, various people do it differently. You can go for any texture you prefer. I prefer a nice fine blend. And here I'm gonna measure it out. That's 1 cup, 2 cups. 2 cups of puree fruits. And here is my sorrel. So our sorrel puree, we're going in with 1.5 cups. So we're gonna continue to blend our butter and add 1 egg at a time. So the eggs in this recipe is emulsifier, which holds everything together. So it's very important to go in with 1 egg at a time. Because you want to get it all incorporated evenly into a nice cream. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract again. And here we go. We add our puree, our sorrel mix. And we're gonna blend that in. Guys, we're doing this on a small scale. I prefer to do it this way instead of using a professional blender or anything like that. This is the way we do it. And then we add our fruits. And we mix well. Now this is totally optional. I'm going in with 1 teaspoon of rose water. And that's just for the aroma. It makes everything taste like flower, like perfume. And here we slowly added our flour. Just gently add your flour a little bit at a time and mix it well. And this is gonna be a nice, heavy, solid cake. Add the rest of the flour and finish up with your mixing. Here's another option. Depends on how vibrant you want your cake to be. You can add some red food coloring. And here I'm going in with all the other dry ingredients, those spices, and we're gonna blend everything together. And we're coming along well. Now we're gonna grease our pans. The wife is helping out with this process. Grease your pan well. Or you can use your parchment paper as well. So now we're gonna flour our greased pan. And this is the way we do it. Just add a little bit of flour after you grease your pan and turn it around, top it so everything is evenly coated. And remove the excess flour. And then spoon your cake mix into the pan. We ended up making 2 cakes out of this batter, but it could have easily been in 1 pan. Set your oven to 350. Pop your cake in, and we're gonna set it to 45 minutes. And this is it, guys. This is our end product. We're gonna take it out the pan and we'll show you how it looks in a minute. This is my awesome sorrel fruit cake for the holiday season. And we do the stick test with a toothpick. Comes out dry. And that's one way of telling that it's fully cooked. The other way is to look at the edges. And your cake is fully cooked. It started peeling back from the edges. So now we're gonna layer our cake and drizzle some Guyana Banco wine onto the cake. Let it absorb everything and cool down as well. And this is gonna give it added flavor and preserve this cake as well. So you can have this out without refrigeration and your cake will keep for a very long time until the end of New Year's. This is it, folks. My sorrel fruit cake. Flavorful and delicious. Hope you guys enjoy this recipe, enjoy this video, and if you find it interesting, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share this video. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything about this video. Please leave your comments. This is my awesome sorrel fruit cake. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Somebody bring the ginger beer.